Hello YouTube, welcome back to Nutkin Farm. I haven't really done a video at sunset and I didn't really plan to today, but for the discovery I made while I was doing some limb work. Now this carnage that you see around the base of block 1 is deliberate, and I thought it would give me a harder time emotionally than it did, but I'll tell you why it didn't. Up here on this tree, and God knows what variety it is, it possibly is a 246, there's some nutset. So the video I was going to do was about nutset, and that is some nice early nutset following flowering on the tree. Now down here at the base of this tree was a cut. Now that growth was below the graft. It was a different kind of leaf and everything else. Now, with this tree setting nut, I cut this branch off. You can see immediately different leaf, massive serrated edge leaf, but not a single flower and not a single nut. And that pattern has repeated itself right throughout this block. So I've gone and done every tree. It took me about 2.5 hours, which is less time than I thought it would. Did the whole round of the block, got rid of the basal growths, and in just about every single case, whatever this rootstock was, didn't have flowers. Now here's an exception. This one actually did have a few flowers and no nutset. Again, a very large leaf, serrated leaf breed. It does lend some support to the fact that when these orchards were planted, and it wasn't that long ago, here's some nutset here as well on a different variety, but when these orchards were planted in the 80s and 90s, they used, in some cases, an old, they call bush nut as a rootstock. Bush nut is a variant of Macadamia tetraphylla, which is the species most native to New South Wales, and it probably was good science to use the variety native to New South Wales in the northern rivers, which is fair enough. But the basal growth, when it comes up, is very vigorous, and in some of the cases it had actually taken over most of the tree. There's some little babies there as well. The nice thing about doing this in block 1 is because you can go straight up to the tree and take video of the nutset, whereas in my older Hawaiian blocks, I don't know what's going on. It's all up in the top of the tree where I can't see it, and I just have to take it on faith that it's actually happening. So these basal growths basically, if they get a hold of the tree, will basically take over the original growth, and in some cases make it spindly and weak, but in all cases take a good share of the nutrient that you had put into hopefully nuts. And here's an example, if you like. It's there's some quite advanced nutset, and it's sort of more nutlets now. But the growth here is very healthy, makes the orchard look like it's doing great until you take a closer look and realise, well, hold on a minute, that's never going to give me a nut. So the job is now complete. I expect that what will happen, although people who've had experience, please feel free to comment, I expect that some of the basal growths will try to regrow a bit, something I've got to sort of stamp on as I do my rounds of the orchard coming up. But the trees now, at least, with these growths cut off, will be able to put their real energy into doing what they do best, which is the named varieties of macadamia nuts producing nuts this autumn. And certainly the difference between this year and last year when I was doing videos on this block is quite amazing. I'll finish with a picture of this little tree that could. Sick as a dog, but definitely a decent variety of macadamia. That's not a rootstock variety. That cut there is what I decided, I think correctly, was the rootstock variety, which is lying over here. It's probably about 3 times bigger than the proper tree. Massive foliage, looks as healthy as anything, but not a single flower, not a single nut. And that's why orchard maintenance is something that needs to be kept on top of, or else you're literally throwing fertiliser and money down the drain. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a nice day, whatever you're up to, and look forward to catching you again soon. Bye.